Hi there, it's Greg Archer with MovieWeb. How are you today, Maria?
Hi, I'm good. Lovely to meet you. How are you?
I'm very well. I like your background there. Nice bricks.
Thank you.
Congrats on the movie. Very full and wild, and lots of stuff going on there. I thought it was quite invigorating. Um, your character's called the Bomb, part of this kind of elite female team. Can you unpack your character a little bit? What you found intriguing about it?
Yes, I can. Thank you so much for the kind words. I'm really excited about this movie because it's such a badass movie about women that can really save the world, save the day. And my character is a portrayal of probably the youngest one of the team. She is a specialist in creating bombs and dissolving bombs. She starts doing these things when she's very little, like 8, 9, 10. She gets a little bit of a sense because as the background, Martin and I have been talking about this, we developed a story about who she is. And she grew up in a family who had a fireworks company and they've been building fireworks. So that's how she got a sense of how explosives works, how bombs are working, etc., etc., etc. So one day around 2008, during the recession, her family loses everything pretty much, and they get to a point of becoming addictive to different not right substances. So she decides to save them by destroying the meth lab, by creating a bomb, by natural ingredients, etc. So she chooses a moment when nobody's there, so nobody gets hurt. And then years pass by, so she gets even more excited about this. But to be able to witness and to be sure that nobody's going to get hurt, but just all of the bad things to get rid of in the world, she's very close there, so she loses a little bit of her hearing, and that's developing in the further and in the character description that she is speaking a little bit loudly because she don't really hear a lot. And little by little she decides that she's the one who should provide for her family, so she starts creating bombs, creating different weapons. And one day she just get caught by doing some illegal things, and instead of being sent to jail for kids. She has to serve in the army. She's been given a choice because she's not, what is it called? She's not an adult. She's not 18. She's only 17. She decides that she's going to start in the army. She has 5 years in the army and she learns even more things about biology, chemistry, and develops even better sense of how to do explosives. So she is part of the army. She knows everything about, as I said, creating bombs and destroying bombs and how to create it from natural ingredients, and a lot, especially about the substances used through Russia and USSR. So, yeah, that's my Teresa.
Thank you for that. I think all the characters, especially the female characters, are tough and badass, as you say. Do you feel like the film is an opportunity or just gives permission to create? Because I don't recall a film recently where we've seen all these great actresses together that are so fierce. Do you feel the film gives permission to have more of that?
I'm not sure I understand correctly the question. What do you mean? Does the film have more?
Yeah, do you feel the film allows us to have like an invitation to explore more of those stories with stronger female characters?
I hope so. Yeah, I believe so. And Martin is another evidence of that. And the movie is, strongly inspired. We talked about this in the beginning before we even started shooting. There is a book called Ashley's War, which follows the untold story of a team of women soldiers on the special side of different battles for justice. And there are a lot of stories about women. And we use that as inspiration and starting point of building our story, which is focused on this great team of women. And I think we need it. I think we need it because that's a way of actually revealing a lot of hidden things and a lot of ways to save the world. Because, women are so often underestimated and overlooked that they cannot really do that much because they're too vulnerable, they're too sensitive, and all of this. nonsense, in my opinion. Just because they're bold enough to express how they feel, it's usually taken for a weakness. Um, but yeah, I think movies like Dirty Angels are examples of how strong females can be and how much they can overcome anything and they can do save the world.
Right, I agree with you. Was there one actress, one strong female actress or even role that really inspired you to kind of even push you forward to become the actress that you are today and you want to be in the future?
It's really challenging to name only one. Definitely, if I dare to say the career choices of one actress have really influenced me, and that's Kate Blanchett. I think everything that she chooses to do, she does with integrity and depth, and they're always different characters. They're always big characters, layered characters, sometimes outspoken, sometimes quiet, sometimes under specific influence, sometimes creating a specific influence over somebody else. So I think she is one of my biggest inspirations as an actor. And there is another one. There is a Danish actress called Trine Dyrholm. For me, she is a net alone for an actress. She is incredibly bold. She can do everything.
Yeah, yeah, thank you for that. Were you surprised by the graphic violence that this film has? I mean, I think it's necessary and realistic, but I'm just curious how it landed with you.
I'm not sure was I surprised, but I mean, look, do we want to see violence? Of course, we don't want to see violence. Do we want to listen about violent stories? Of course, we don't want to listen to violence about violent stories, but stories like this exist. And it's your responsibility, it's your duty as an actor to portray them as real as possible. And we don't shy away from the fact that ugliness like this exists in the world. Um, and maybe using the platform to raise awareness and to told stories about unfair circumstances and unfair ways of behavior towards kids, basically. We, I, I disagree that we should return with the same things, but in this movie, we use that language because at the end of the day, yes, it is inspired by real stories. It is inspired by real people to a certain degree, but it is entertainment and we need to make it a little bit over the top. We need to make it a little bit more hyperbolized on screen so people can feel more. And then by feeling about it, by having feelings about what you've seen, by making you think after what you saw, maybe we can do this world a better place. Even if it sounds too idealistic, I do believe in that.
Right, I totally hear you. On a completely other spectrum, you are in James Gunn's Creature Commandos, which there is a lot of buzz about. In a few weeks, that's about to, be hugely popular, no doubt. I understand James had you in mind first for that. You were like the first cast in this new DCU thing. So, how did that land with you? What can you tell us about Creature Commandos that really stood out for you and I think will stand out for audiences?
Well, I think James has proven that he can create universes very well. He has his own signature that is always, I don't know, so rich in character, so rich in atmosphere, so rich in soundtrack, even. And this story, I mean, I was humbled and honored to be a part of. And from the beginning, I got this message would happen. Like, it was quickly after we finished Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was really, really secretly upset that that's so late that I'm meeting all of these great people when it was the last installment of the franchise. And then I received a message from James that he's building a story, and then there's this character, it's like a femme fatale princess, and it's gonna be part of Creature Commandos. And I couldn't wait to read more about it, and I couldn't wait to go on set. We didn't really do it on set because it's animation, but we did it over Zoom, and it was so fun. It was so incredible. He's one of the greatest people that I got the chance to meet and work with because he creates this feeling of trust. He creates this feeling of boldness to do things, to experiment with things, to provoke your partner, to go further than you expect it to be. And it's always fun and it's always satisfying to do it because you know you do it for the audiences. I think that's what's the biggest gift that James has. He does this with the thought about his fans, his audiences, and people that are fan of the original comics, which is something very important. He brings his authenticity to it, but it's always with a respect towards the fans of the books. And with this one, we bring a completely new character. I think he's building this new universe in the UC world, DCU world, and his vision is incredible. Like it's animation for adult people. I found myself like watching the episodes on one breath because it's, I mean, you'll see it. You'll see it. It's great. It's absolutely exceptional. And it's funny and it's hot. It's quite sexy to be honest.
It's sexy.
Yes,
I love that. So it's destined to be a hit.
I believe so. I believe people will be really excited to watch it. They're gonna love it. And weirdly enough, beautifully enough, every next episode becomes even more and more and more and more exciting to see what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen. It's like you start very high, really great first episode, and somehow every next one is even better. It's like incredible, revealing the stories of all of the characters, episode by episode by episode by episode. I cannot wait for you guys to watch it.
Thank you for that. Well, a few more questions for you. I understand you're with Ryan Reynolds in Mayday as well. What is the most fun thing about working with Ryan? What's he like on set?
Well, I have to say that I've been lucky with the people that I got a chance to work, not only because they are proven to be incredibly talented, incredibly gifted, and honestly great professionalists, but they're really kind human beings. And he is that. He's been very supportive and very open and very funny. And uh, uh, I, it's been like a gift to be on set. I played with him and Kenneth Branagh, who is like a British treasure. He's incredible. He's like, I've been watching his movies, the movies that he's directed, movies that he starred in. And the collaboration between Kenneth and Ryan has been exceptional. The fact that I got a chance to collaborate with both of them, it's been incredible. It's also an action movie. It's adventure action movie, and it's only my second one after Dirty Angels. And I found myself really falling in love with this genre, even though I didn't really know a lot about it before, because I grew up with the idea about heavy, emotionally heavy, deep, dramatic performances, movies, specifically Scandinavian movies, Danish movies. And then I found myself in this big action hero adventurous movies, and it's great because they're with great people like Ryan and yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Thank you very much. What was one thing you learned from Sacha Baron Cohen when you worked on Borat, subsequent movie film, which was fantastic?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sasha will forever be for me like a mentor figure. I think we all have them, and it's really important who they are because they will always remain part of us one way or another. And what I think was important for me to learn is to be daring to try things, to be daring to go to the highest possible option, to jump, to risk, to try, to take a leap of faith, believe, and trust the process. Because that's what Borat is. Borat is a social experiment, and pretty much we're flexible with what people are gonna give us, which direction will the story take, and you just adapt in the moment. And the other thing that I feel I've learned as a human from Sasha is that if you can help one person somehow, or if you can influence the world through your platform to make it a little bit better, do it. Because movies, cinema, theater, books, literature, music, songs, these are shapes and forms of art that really stick with you. And if you feel something, if you somehow witness something, because that's the difference between, for example, watching a movie or reading an article about people. if you see it with your eyes, you experience something within your soul somehow, and it can really change your mind. It can really shape your opinion about stuff. So Sacha is that. Sacha, he's a revolutionary artist because he is he somehow changes the world towards a better place.
Yeah, it would be great to see a Borat movie about the current state of American politics. So that would be fun, I think, or maybe not. Anyway, but it's so good to connect with you, Maria. Thank you so much, and congrats on this.
Thank you. Thank you so much.